What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video we're focusing on Six Nations and that it could be doing the unthinkable thing, one thing that we never thought would be happening, and moving to another date. The Six Nations has been the good kickoff to the new year by having a kickoff in February, and we look forward to it and we watch it and it's exciting. But now, due to the whole thing with COVID-19 and all the challenges, postponements, World Rugby and Six Nations Board have had a conference call and may be suggesting to move the tournament to March, April rather than having it in March, which I think is quite interesting because there's also talk of the Rugby Championship is going to move away from being held in August to also accommodate that time of March and April. So we're going to have awesome clashes of the Rugby Championship competing with the Six Nations, which I think is going to be a smart idea because technically we'll play in the morning in New Zealand, got Six Nations games at night. Sometimes Six Nations games are even played later. So the fact that we will have international games right after one another and the two would feed off nicely, in my opinion, I think it's a pretty sharp idea. I know it's important because the Six Nations is probably the most dominantly watched. To have it on its own turf and keep with the tradition, keep it going. But for a new change, I don't think this is a bad idea. And like I said, the two could feed off each other quite well. I think it's going to be a smart move. But we'll have to wait and see. But that's not the only news. Apparently it's reported that the June-July test, obviously we know this has now been scrapped. But now there's talk of this being switched to October rather than June-July. And then it will mean the North will travel south, and then obviously a couple months later we'll have the South traveling north. So it means the international games will be quite close together. So we won't have to wait for June and then November again to see the good old tours of the North versus the South. It will be like a couple months break and then we're already into the big games. And I think that's a smart move forward, especially to create more excitement for international rugby. And it's also fresh from the South, just the North heading south. So we've got that awesome derby or tours to look forward to. And then the same happens a month or two later. I think it's definitely going to kickstart a few things. It will bring back excitement. We all know international rugby is needed. What I do hope World Rugby do is reconsider the way the games are played to make us play all the teams more instead of making us wait to play England every second or third year. The same goes for the All Blacks. I mean, we need to see it happen yearly. So make the tour lengths longer so we can fit in more games, more opportunities for intense, exciting contests instead of waiting, because the talk is that New Zealand and England will face each other 3 times, which is great. Normally it's like once or twice, if even. So I think this new movement forward by Bill is actually pretty smart, and I'm quite keen for the fact that we can have a Rugby Championship, Six Nations gelled together. I know it just means it's a longer wait until we get to those tournaments, but also it will allow more time to finish off what we have in the Super Rugby and the Premiership and the Top 14 and the Champions Cup and the Pro 14, and put that on hold. Everyone's on hold. Focus on international rugby. Finish the last stages of the tournament. And it just means rugby is not quite going to stop. It's just going to continue, get longer, get better. So I think it's a smart move. And then the guys have a little bit of a break, which is much needed, because you can't really have rugby in Australia in Feb, because I mean it's going to be bloody hot and crazy there. So for me, keep it in this March, April. I think it's a smart move and I'm all for it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below on this whole talk of movement. I think it's a good way forward and we could see something exciting come out of it. But yeah, let's wait and see what happens. It's good to see that these are all in the talks. Nothing's been confirmed yet, but I think it's a good movement forward. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you real soon for another one. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.